right, hello. Just explaining a bicep routine that I did 3/27/2025. Now this one was a little different. Kind of threw this one together, spur of the moment, um, and didn't have a lot of time, so I did things that didn't really require a lot of weight loading or anything like that, and it was just a circuit. So I went through the circuit 4 times. Started off with supination, just with this apparatus that I have here. I call it a sledge bell. I'm not sure if that's a good term or not, but it's what I decided to call it because it kind of mimics a sledgehammer and it's a dumbbell. So I just mix those two together, and that's what we get. So I did supination, and I did it. So sometimes when I do it standing, and then sometimes when I do it in the concentration curl position. I do find that the concentration curl position keeps more tension on the bicep. So if I'm specifically wanting to target the bicep, I will do it in that way. So I chose to do it that way this time because I was wanting to target my biceps or lack thereof biceps. I'm trying to build them, okay? But after that, I did the rice bucket supination. It's with a tool that I have. I just made it out of a softball and a meat chopper. So just mixed those together. So superset there. And then I did a wrist roll in a curl isometric position. So that's something I think I will try to do more often. I felt that was pretty efficient, I guess. I got a wrist workout and a bicep workout at the same time. And then after that, I just did a shot put toss and catch with just a 12-pound shot put that I have, and that makes for a pretty good kind of a. It's more of like an endurance routine, I guess. So that's kind of what my goal was for this routine, was more endurance style training. And so the supination, I did 12 reps, 30 reps on the rice bucket, and then I think I did 3 rolls on the wrist roll, and 24 total toss and catches. So 12 reps per hand. And I may have miscounted somewhere in there, I'm sure. But those were the rep ranges I was going for. So went through that 4 times. And that's what I did during the day. The nighttime I came and I did used my preacher curl machine, and I did once again it was more of an endurance style. I did, let me think here, left arm, right arm, and then both arms. So I chose to do both arms last so that my biceps were already fatigued, because obviously the weight that I would use for both arms is going to be more than the single arms. So I chose to throw that in at the end so that my biceps was already taxed, and so I'd still get something from that. So the apparatus itself, I'm not for sure what it weighs. I'm sure it's not too much, but it does weigh something, so it's not super easy to do. So the set that I did, no weight, there was actually some kind of weight on there. I just don't know what it would be, because I don't know what the apparatus itself weighs. And in the positions, I have no idea. And so I went no weight for 12 reps. Then I added 2.5 pounds for 10. Then 5 pounds for 8. 7 pounds or 7.5 pounds for 6. 10 pounds for 4, and then 12 pounds for 2. So once again, I got more out of the single arm parts of it. I just kind of threw the double arms in there just for more of a burn, and it was effective. Now, was it really that strenuous weight wise? No, but it did give more like an extra pump or burn in there. So I felt like it was a pretty decent routine. And once again, going for more of a pump than strength. So, I didn't really pile the weight on there too much. So that was the routine I did at night. I've kind of been experimenting with just two uh, workout routines, one during the day and then one at nighttime. The nighttime one is going to be a quicker one, so more of like a hard hitting, just get it done fast, and that's it. But I don't do that every day. It depends on how much time that I have. So this day I had a little bit more time, so that's why I did that. And so pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. I mean, the exercises were a little bit different, probably things you haven't seen before, but that's kind of the fun of it, is just experimenting. You get an idea in your head, you know, as long as it's nothing too crazy it's going to hurt yourself or anything like that. But you can be creative with your workout routines. You don't have to do the same old stuff that everybody else is doing. You can try to do things that, you know, you think may work, and they may work for you. So why not give them a try? So on that note, thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below, and we'll talk to you soon.